investing in command and all the technology over the last year. I just happened to be in a really good position where my business was built to exist in this environment, completely unintentionally, obviously. But my business models and the online systems that we use just transferred over very, very well to this model, to this market.
Cool. Well, I'd love you to share that. I mean, you can feel free to share your screen and show us what you're doing. I brought Kim on here, so she's the Elevation Realty. Kim's my admin. She does all of our ads and whatnot. We do a big concern that we have right now, well, not concern, but this is my notes. This is my CRM. And here's my CRM. Like, yeah, exactly. This is what I'm doing this morning. So I'm like, I need to figure out a way to automate my business and utilize command properly. And so I've like forced adopted it. I'm the tech chair for my ALC. I'm the tech ambassador for my office. Like, I'm the one who's furthest ahead of this, but I'm more or less just throwing my team forward. So Kim's been on all the calls and she's done a lot of the work with it. But I need to figure out a way to integrate it myself, because my team's following my lead. And when they see me doing this kind of shit, then they don't actually do it.
It doesn't encourage them to do it.
No. So we have all these leads from Facebook that we're not doing anything with. And I'm sure that you can probably make it better and get more of them. And you can give us some tips and tricks. I saw someone just said like one photo, just the outside is the best or something. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's what I teach as well. When building ads, one external photo of the outside of the house is what you want. And the reason behind that is when a Facebook ad comes up, if you have multiple photos or if you have a video, you can click on those and it actually takes you away from your ad. Where if you have one singular photo, when you click on it, it pops up with the auto-filled lead form. So then you're removing a step in between you and the client. Every time you add another step in between you and capturing the lead, you actually reduce the opportunity to capture the lead by over 90%.
Who taught you that?
The reason you always want front photos as opposed to anything else is if you're doing interior photos, you're not giving an idea to a client about what kind of place they could be buying. Like, they could see this fantastic kitchen, but for all they know, it could be on a $1 or $2 million home. They don't know. If I show you the front photo, most people who are looking around can at least reasonably assume if it's a house that they would even be interested in looking at. And by kind of narrowing some of that down, we get a better quality of lead or a more active quality of lead out of it. So this is just...
Yeah, I did hear that. That's excellent. I had actually heard, Josh, that the best photo to show, and I don't remember who said it, was the kitchen. But I always thought that was a bit strange because, yeah, you're right. They would want to see the front of the house.
The one that will get you, this depends on what the purpose of your ad is, right? Mm-hmm. If the purpose of your ad is to capture leads, then showing a kitchen or something like that isn't fantastic, because you're going to get tons of people who click on it. Like, you're going to have an amazing click rate because everyone's like, ooh, this is beautiful. I want to see it. I want to look at it. But then they're like, give me more information. You're like, I don't even know what anything else is about this house. So I have no reason to give you information. And in order to give more information about the house, I would then have to change my ad copy to just giving information about the house that when I send them to a landing page is going to give them all that same information. So it then became no value to them. And then you look like a complete schmuck when you're following up with them because you didn't. Like, one of the biggest rules for me is I don't do the price hold hostage, nothing like that, in order to give a form of conversation. If you click on my ad, my price, as you can see, is always in my ads. It's always there.
Is there any legal issues with that, with ARIA? Like, I always thought that it was, I thought part of it might be that they just want to get the lead, but other part might be like, we're not allowed to share. We're allowed to share it, obviously, then.
Yeah, if it's a listed house on the market, you're allowed to. If it's a coming soon, you're not.
Okay.
Oh.
Right, because the coming soon, if you're not allowing, it becomes a legal issue if you're not allowing anyone else, other companies to show. Then you're not allowed to push the price or anything like that out. But you can still also do things like, you know, if your price is going to be $699.9, it is completely legal for me to turn around and say, coming soon, this house is going to be listed under 700,000, which is accurate.
I like that.
But yeah, so when I'm looking at the ads, if you click on this ad, if it wasn't just a preview of the ad, it's going to go through and it's going to bring you to a page that gives you all the information about the house. I'm not holding any information back. There's no, you have to connect with me in order to find out about the house. I said, do you want to learn about the house? And I'm doing it. Number one, because it gets people, it's different than what anyone else is doing. And it gets people to trust you more inherently. And number two, because then when I follow up, I'm following up asking for feedback on the house, which is always my first thing, feedback on what you saw. So then it looks like I'm doing a fantastic job for my seller, which I am. And immediately, if that person is looking to sell a house, they now know my focus before trying to get and solicit their business is trying to sell the house that they clicked on. And so they're now, I'm basically interviewing and auditioning for them without them knowing that I'm putting them into an interview for my services. And so this is what my ads look like. They're simple in command. There's nothing super special about them. My big, were you going to say something? Sorry.
Oh,
I thought I heard something. I'm isolation hearing things. So the big thing with ads always comes around the ad copy. Don't talk about the features of the house that are going to be listed statistically. So don't go around and turn and say, you know, look at this wonderful 3+2 bedrooms, 6 bathroom, whatever kind of house you have there. Because when you send them to an MLS page or a landing page or to the listing, it's going to give them all that information. What you want to do is sell the parts that are going to entice people to click on it and that you can't advertise in other ways. So for example, this house, I'm talking about how it's a private lot with no neighborhood behind it, that it's access to park, main roads, transit, upgraded, and that we have a virtual tour. So none of those things are things that I can just click on an MLS sheet and find out. They're things that I would have to infer. So it's giving people a different reason to click on it. If you give them too much information, you're now actually giving them a reason to not click on it because they can disqualify the house outright. Also, never give the address of the house in your ad, because then you are just giving them the ability to go to realtor.ca and look it up themselves. So the address is the only thing that I hold to myself there. I do put for us in particular, because of where we are, it depends on what your region looks like. But I either do put the city or the neighborhood that the house is located in. So if you cover multiple cities, like in Durham region, we've got Oshawa, Ajax, Pickering, Whitby, Curtis, Bowmanville, all right there. I need to tell people what city this house is located in, because when I do a 25-kilometer radius, I'm covering the whole region. So that's it there.
I sent someone your way. I dropped your number off on someone in my office was looking for a referral at your way. I don't know exactly. It wasn't in Whitby, but it was out that way. So it was a smaller city just outside of it. I sent your info.
Awesome. Appreciate that. So you can see the kind of results that I'm getting right now. So these ads I launched on Friday, and I've already captured 60 people this weekend. $8 spent. This one's done 17, so it's getting 50 cents a lead. This one is at 31 cents a lead. This one's at 53 cents a lead. This campaign that I finished up, $20 spent, 75 leads in at 27 cents per lead. So you cannot find online leads out there at this level. You'll see a couple of mine like this one, which is terrible. That's me doing an experiment campaign. I like to be the one to throw my money at a wall to experiment. So when I show you, you don't have to waste your money.
What did you do differently in the experiment that
So this one I was trying to attract listings directly, which I advise don't. The best way to attract listings, and I'm always going to say, is to advertise a property. This one I talked about how we sold it over asking, and we did it completely through virtual tours. We didn't have actually anyone in the house. So I thought, hey, maybe for those people who need to sell during this time, they might be interested in an evaluation. I was very, very clear about this, like, come in, sign up, get a virtual consultation, and then both of the grand total of 2 people who did it, neither of them actually responded to the messages. Okay. But also things like I added my image, extra text, things like that. It was just an experiment that I tried, and I shut it down really quickly because it was just not performing. All right, so if I jump in here, I'm just gonna, you guys, if you have created ads through command before?
Kim has.
Kim, okay. So
Kim, speak up, please. You're on mute. There you go.
I have done them before. And to be honest with you, Josh, the ones that I've created that I get the most leads from seem to be leases as opposed to actual properties. But that actually could be that the way that I've been setting them up. So
would it make more sense for us to go through and do one with you right now on
that's
our
what I'm going to do. That's why I was seeing what experience you had, because if you had some experience, I can skip some of the really, really basic stuff.
Yeah.
Well, we actually have a listing right now that we're actually not getting any traction since the COVID thing on Wellington, Kim, that I would love to do something to try and get some leads. I mean, you're getting these leads, people are clicking and then they're coming to you. Are you double ending these properties?
Sometimes.
Yeah. So I think
a lot of these ones, like all 3 of these ones right now, none of those are my listings.
Oh, really? So whose listings are they?
They're my productivity coaches, actually.
And so you just ask other agents in the office if it's okay?
Yep, all the time.
Kim?
Yes. Yes. Great idea.
Why not? If they're not doing it, then I'm going to. I give all agents in the office permission to run my listings if they want to. I just ask that they send me a copy of their ad before they run it out so I can approve it, just to make sure they're not communicating it in a way that I would not want my listing communicated in. But that's if I don't have a listing and I need leads and I need to feed either myself or my team some leads, I just go into our back end, see who's got listings, and then just reach out. Hey, can I run an ad? And about 7% of the time, I run someone else's ad. I do actually bring an offer on their house. So
7% of the time.
Yeah. So the only ad I ever use is advertised listings. No matter what it is, if I'm trying to attract buyers, sellers, anything like that, it's advertised listing is the best way to go. If you want sellers, the best way to find a seller is to solve their pain point by finding them a place to buy. I only run ads on Facebook. Instagram's metrics are terrible for running ads. People do not go to Instagram to see ads. They go for social connection, and it just won't perform well. And Twitter is a living death pool of political disease. That's what people go onto Twitter for. So I advise not running ads on Twitter either. And I have experimented. So I've thrown about $750 in each of these and tried different methods, and I could not make either of them work at nearly the same level as Facebook. So we're going to set up the campaign. You know, here it always pops with only my listings, and unless you're uploading your listings directly to KWLS, why you're taking so long to load? Unless you're loading your listings directly to KWLS, then they won't appear here. The listing that you select literally does not matter. Your listing does not have to be here because we're just going to go in and change it all anyway, but you do have to select a listing, and this is acting really slow. I don't know if it's my internet. You do have to select a listing. If you try, you can close this out and try and move forward with no listing selected. But when you go to the end, it will create a glitch that will make it so your Facebook campaign won't actually be approved. So when you load it up normally, there's always 222 Test Street. I just select this one every single time, because we're going to just change out and we're going to write the main copy. So there's two practices there. I shared the one where we talk about the features of the street and kind of make people fall in love with the area or the neighborhood. I do that in a big way because I project my ideal client avatar. I know that that attracts high eyes, and I want to work with high eyes. And I know it also makes D's go away. And I don't want to work with high D's because I don't have the patience for them.
Sorry, man, you got to deal with me.
That's different. You're in this dealing with that in a buying situation is not my ideal. However, if you're just interested, especially if you have a diverse team or anything like that, in attracting a lot, you can also use a theory called disc building. So write one line of ad copy that would be extremely attractive to a D. So very direct to the point. Run another line of ad copy that is a little bit of fluff that'll attract an I. Run an ad copy line that will attract an S. Don't ask me what that is. I have my admin write it when I go this way because I have no idea. And then run an ad copy that'll appeal to a C. And it doesn't matter what you write for a C as long as it appears under C more because they're completionists and they will always click to see what you wrote next.
I love it.
So that is another way you can do it. And the final way you can write an ad copy is if you just want to build your ideal client avatar, write an ad that will appeal to you, that would make you click on it and then run it. And then you're going to get people who are most likely to be in line with your personality. I just will let you know that more than 60% of the population does tend to identify in some significant way with I. And that is why it does generate the most results.
Yeah, I knew that. I and S is the most common, so D is the least common. I'm a big disc guy as well. I love that. Now, the only thing is I get Kim to write all of my stuff, and Kim is certainly not a DI. Kim, I think Kim's
anyone
disc
can
is like
write
an
an
S, maybe I, but
anyone can write an I. Just go and put some fluffy stuff in here that's really, really super sappy about the neighborhood, and I'll just be like, oh, thanks, I want to click on that so bad. Where can my puppy live? That's the reality. Just talk nice stuff about the area, and I will click it. And I might sometimes in this, eyes are clicking it because they're bored, and we actually want you to talk to us.
When you're doing the disc building, the one line of each, is that in one ad? Like one ad will have 4 lines?
Yep.
And it'll
literally just be 4 lines. Like, check out this fantastic investment opportunity. 1 line. Next down, located in a fantastic family neighborhood close to parks. Next line down, and then safe. Whatever my head writes. Then Seymour. This is listed at da 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 da. Like that's it. And it works, and it'll have a certain amount of appeal to everyone. And it goes into their attention span just ironically too, because D's are only giving you their first line. I's will give you 2 lines before something twinkles off in the corner and they're distracted. And S's and C's tend to follow. S's will go through until they get bored, and C's will follow through the whole thing because they have to.
Now, do you actually like just write until it gets to the point where it needs to go like to a Seymour, or do you actually like hyperlink a Seymour?
Nope. If I know that there are 3 lines, the 4th line will always be Seymour.
All right.
Headline, this is where I always just put something like, this is where I'm going to put the neighborhood or the city that's in there. And I might put something about the house. So like, check out this cute Oshawa bungalow, or check out this Oshawa bungalow even. This is where I will give one detail about the house and where it's located. In the description, really, you can put anything. It doesn't really matter. Your description is very, very, it pops up in ads sometimes. So this is where if I need to put something about the house that I feel that I need to put, I'll throw it there. Or I'll put just a simple tagline, like literally it says, you could be coming home to this, fall in love, things, your generic stuff like that. But don't lose your head trying to scratch and figure out what you should put there, because it won't matter. I need to enter something like this to move on. So the reason it doesn't also matter what listing you select is because we're just going to add our own images to it anyway. So it'll replace whatever listing it is. So by this point in time, as soon as we add this image, whatever listing we selected is going to be completely non-existent at this point in time. So you can crop that image, make it look like whatever it is you want. But again, single image of the front of the house. And literally, even if it's a condo building, I will delete this. I still get it when I have a condo. Literally used the front of the condo building itself.
Okay.
Still works. Just make sure that whatever photo you upload has all of the license plates of cars blurred out. I would advise, because it does force you to put your logo in. My brokerage's logo is here. It's super tiny. You can't actually see it. I uploaded a microscopic version that in places in command that I do need to use it, I can blow it up. But on this specific part, it is not required for it to be here, as long as your landing page that you're sending people to has all of your legal information around it. So I minimized it because I don't want it messing with any of Facebook's metrics for determining if my ad is shown. So then we have to select our page. Obviously, we're always using use Facebook lead generation form here because that is what pops up when they click on your ad and auto-populates it. So what I was talking about earlier is if you have one picture here and they click on that picture hoping to see more pictures, what's going to appear in front of them on their screen is an auto-populated list. With auto-populated, it already has their name, their email that they registered to Facebook, and their phone number that they registered to Facebook, and then it asks them for permission to continue. And if they continue, it auto submits that and uploads it in a command for you. And then it takes them to your landing page. It shows them a copy of your privacy statement and then takes them to your landing page. I never changed the call to action button off Learn More. Here is where you choose your destination site. Do you guys have a website with an IDX on it?
Tim? Fucking better.
Does
spent a
your
bunch of money
website
on-
allow you to search for properties?
Yes. You have Agent Locator.
It does.
So my advice is go to your website and turn off your sign-in, and then fire Agent Locator and save yourself the money because they're pulling from the exact same place but with an extra step for their lead part. But if you're using their website, that's fine. Turn off your sign-in sheet on your website if it's enabled. Then go to your listings, search up the listing that you're advertising through your website, and then drop the link to that listing in your follow-up destination. So then you send them directly to the listing with all the information branded on your website. If you are advertising a house that has a virtual tour or anything like that, or 3D tour, instead I would drop the link in here that brings them to the online version of the virtual tour, because that's how you can sell your house right now.
We have a virtual tour for Wellington, right, Kim?
We do not.
We better get on that like yesterday.
Yeah, you're gonna want an iTours or a Matterport or whatever it is.
I thought we were getting virtual tours on everything. That's when I used to do all this stuff. I did it from the beginning. I guess I didn't walk through it all with you, but there should always be a virtual tour.
No, they switched to Mark. Mark doesn't do virtual tour.
Mark does do for virtual tours. Just call him and tell him you want that property uploaded into a virtual tour.
Oh,
That's who I initially used, was Mark.
Okay.
Yeah, and so if you have a landing page for your virtual tour, definitely drop that in, so then that people can just start going and viewing the house, and then that's a great way to get feedback on your home too. Use your custom audience. So you're going to switch to Canada, wherever your city or location is. Leave it at 25 kilometers. You do not want to go bigger than that. It's just not worth it. And right now in this market, you don't need to get pretty or cute with expert targeting or anything like that. Just get everybody. What did I owe? What did I not? Oh, I did not choose a landing page. Duration and budget. Don't run an ad for less than 5 days. Don't run it for more than 10. In the market that we're in right now, things are not moving super fast, or at least here. So I would run it for 10 days. And then if it's still on the market on day 9, go up and duplicate your ad and then set it to run for another 10 days. But past 10 days, the metrics that you get will start to drop significantly. And you're not going to want that. I would not advise, especially just starting off, spending more than $50 on a campaign.
Okay.
I see you're using 20 on almost everything, and I saw someone else using 20. Is that kind of your go-to?
Yeah, I use 20, 25 on normally a 5 or 6 day campaign is where I like to sit at. Keep in mind when you're creating this budget that this is being charged in US dollars. So if I want to run a $30 campaign based on our exchange rate now, I'm running a $25 campaign. Because this is going to charge your credit card immediately because we use KW's ad account. So unlike a normal Facebook campaign where it charges at the end of the month or whenever you've hit $300, this one is going to take it, charge it immediately, and then apply it to your account. Then you just save, publish, and voila, you have a excellent returning Facebook campaign running for you. Now, how you can determine how your campaign is doing is after 3 days of it being active. As soon as this loads back up for me, I'll walk through the metrics here. The amount of impressions that you're getting really doesn't matter because it's irrelevant. If it's super high, that's great. I mean, if this was sitting at like 3 days later, if it was sitting at like 50, you might have need for concern, but our impressions are never bad. If your impressions to clicks, I'm looking to be at about 17 to 22% is my ideal area that I want to be in. If that is lower than that, then that means that either my photo or my ad copy is not inspiring people to click on it. And so I know that I need to go back and relook at that. My clicks to lead
What if it's
captured,
what if it's higher than 22%?
That's great. It's fantastic. It means I've made a fantastic lead or a fantastic ad. My average is about 17 to 21%, and that's where I try to keep it. My clicks to leads captured, I'm looking to stay at about 7 to 10% is where I want to be on people where it is, unless of course I just have a lot and this is still producing a number that I'm satisfied with, then I'm fine if it exceeds that. But I'm training it for a normal market too, where we won't get the craziness that we have right now because everyone's at home. So I want about a 7 to 10%. If I'm seeing a disconnect in between there where I have a high amount of clicks and a low amount of people actually submitting, again, it means that probably my ad copy didn't actually inspire them to want to click. So I need to go back and relook and make sure I have a value statement in there that would get them to click or see if there's something that I put in there that was weird. While we talk about it and I train around cost per lead, really talking about cost per lead is just a great marketing tool for myself and in listing appointments even. What I care about is how much money and what I track is how much money do I spend before I get a lead that does business. Because what I found is if I'm tracking cost per lead or if I'm tracking, because realistically, if I'm at $2 per lead, I am absolutely destroying industry standards. Industry standards are like $5 to $6 per lead. So if I'm looking at this as cost per lead, or how many leads do I, you hear a lot, like how many, with door knocking, anything like that, how many people do I need to talk to before I get business? I'm going to be looking at that and going, oh, geez, like I have to hit this many people, and then it's a high number to a low return. And it can weigh on your mentality. It's no different than door knocking. They're like, you can push through it. But you need to do it. You need to talk to that 100 people before you get that one that's going to do immediate business or whatever. I started looking at it is, I know I need to spend $110 on average before I will generate a client who's going to do business in the next 3 to 6 months. Now, spending $110 and knowing I'm going to get a $12,000 return on that is a lot better mindset way to look at it. And I need to talk to 150 people before I'm going to get a return on this. It's just a shift in mindset and a better way to allocate and track your resources.
So going a little bit deeper on that, what is your follow-up process like? Like how many times are you calling that person to make sure that actually converts? Are you putting them a lot of smart plans?
Smart plans. My online lead conversion, it's blank right now because I just rewrote it today. So I just didn't have enough time to upload it before this call to show you the new scripts and everything that we're using, but I do have them down here, so I will share screens out. When they come in, I send an initial email to them manually and then put them on a smart plan. And that smart plan touches them 12 times in 15 days. So in 15 days, they will get 13 touches. The average online lead takes 9 to 12 touches before they will reconnect with you. Sorry. However, other than that first touch, all of this is automated I've connected a Twilio account in for my text messages, and Command Email takes care of my emails.
Do you call them at all, Josh?
I do not. I have found that the speed to lead call people is very 2019. Online leads are now a thing that people recognize. They know what's happening, and they've clicked on them enough times to know that if I clicked on a house and 5 minutes later my phone rings, I know exactly who's on the other end of that phone. It's a real estate agent every time. So what I do is I send an email. I'm just going to show one of the emails that I send. Ooh, that's not how you spell Gmail at all. So this is an example of the email. So whenever a new lead comes in, this is the only manual thing I do. I literally have it on my computer, copy and paste it on my phone, so I can copy and paste it and send it. But I was just looking for 3 quick reasons. I wanted to see if you found everything you were looking for. Okay. I wanted to see if you have any feedback that you could pass on, that I could pass on to my seller. And then I relink the MLS listing itself in there. And then I just added in, do you want to be kept up to date on what's going on in the market with the ongoing COVID situation? I'm very upfront with people. I understand that they're probably not actively shopping, that we're just trying to provide value to them. But we do realize that people do have a reason that they either need to buy or sell, and that we want to make sure that if they're doing it, we're doing it safely, and then hope to hear from you. And then I make a joke about having ample amount of TP available, because I believe in showing my personality with everyone that I work with. Sometimes we will also do, and I have been, I'm trying this way. A lot of the times I will also do a video message through BombBomb. So when the new lead comes in, I have the BombBomb message already recorded. And it's a very simple one, like, hey, thank you so much for checking out our property. Because I never put the actual address on there. So then that way I can just use it over and over and over again. I'd really love your feedback on, I'd really love your feedback so I can pass that on to the seller, because the best thing I can do and the most effective thing I can do to sell a house is rely on people like you to tell me what they like and what they don't like about the house. So if you wouldn't mind passing on that information, I would absolutely love it. And if you forgot what property I'm talking about, just shoot me an response back and I'll send you the MLS link so you can refresh your memory. Thanks so much, and I look forward to talking to you. Like, just really simple. But it kind of does what, you know, Gary Keller talks about, that 75% of the people work with the first real estate agent they meet. The video will give me an opportunity to meet them. So my video compared to this, if we're all sending out this and I have a great video, it just gives an opportunity to showcase personality and stand out from everyone. The only reason I'm not doing the video right now is because things are changing on such an ongoing basis every day that I just don't have the energy to create new videos every day.
So I love videos. My concern would be that I'm going to be doing this mainly for other people. Like, I'm not going to be doing this for like leads that I'm going to take. I'm going to do this for leads for my 3 agents on my team, because they're sitting at home doing nothing. And I have my books that I'm taking detailed notes on with a shit ton of stuff to do. And I'm raising $4 million in capital for my investment properties. So with that said, I want to get more leads like yesterday for my team. And everything you're saying, I'm ready to jump in and implement and say, hey, Kim, go do this and prioritize this over everything else. But my thing would be, I'm the best on my team on video, far and away. I have no problem doing that video. But if someone then reaches out, they don't get me, they get the team. Bad idea.
Nope, I do it all the time.
Matters.
I unless they come back to me with, hey, I'm really interested in selling my house. They come, yeah, I would love to. I'm thinking about buying, and I love this information or this area. That is directly off to Kevin. I don't with it, and I've never had a problem with it or an issue where it comes up, right? Because until we set the face-to-face meeting, they don't even realize that they're not even talking to a different person most of the time. I don't actually drop my name in the video at all, so then that way it also opens up. The most I'll get is, hey, thanks for contacting Bickle Brand. We're really glad you're interested in our property. So I can do it that way. Without it interfering with who's receiving that lead.
Do you care to share your touch campaign there on the smart plan?
Yep. So I will, because I know you're recording this, so I'm just going to kind of go down it slowly, so then you can watch it on auto replay later and go down it. Or actually no, because I'm gonna go through it, but I'll send you my scripting that I use, which also has the full thing in it as well. So don't worry about trying to keep up with this. But it's basically text, email, delay a day, text, delay a day, email, delay 2 days, text, delay a day, email, delay 2 days, text, delay 2 days, text, delay a day, email, delay a day, text, delay 2 days, text, delay a day, email, and then after that, if I haven't heard from them, it goes on to my next smart plan.
And what's your next smart plan?
That would be like my 8x8 or my 33 touch program that goes over the course of a year. This one, I think I have the monthly neighborhood nurture.
Okay, so adds the monthly neighborhood nurture. Yeah, that Kim. Yep. So basically, after you go through that, then it goes to the monthly neighborhood nurture. And do you want to click your monthly neighborhood nurture?
This one is the KW. Actually, sorry, you know what? I think I'm going to their midterm. No, monthly neighborhood. So this one is the KW provided one, which is literally, it just sends out an automated email about, no, that's a lie. They're going to midterm because I don't have their address. So this is just the KW one, and it's all provided as tasks. So it adds them to the smart plan, delays 14 days, tells me to give them a phone call, delays 14 days, and then tells me to send them a text.
Do you do that? Phone call and text?
Yep. This is when I start the phone calls.
And how many people make it to there versus or automatically call you through the process?
How many people make it through onto that campaign?
Like that main campaign that you have that you send out to people automatically with all the text and email. How many of those people like call you before, like give like a ratio 1 in 10 call you before they get to the end?
I would say that we end up in connection with about 25% of the people before we get to the end.
pretty good. Okay.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are say, okay,
now some of
remove
those
me
are
or
remove me,
unsubscribe,
stop talking to me, everything like that. But some of those turn into more. So our what we're tracking is right now is about every 100 people that we put on, we end up with one person that is looking to do business within the next 6 months. And our expectations is based on the way that we follow up with our database, is that within the next 16 to 20 months that we will do 10 more deals for every 100 people that we have it.
So about 10%. Okay. So how many deals do you have so far this year?
We have 5 closed, and now it's really confusing with this whole COVID situation. But we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9 listings signed, and 7 more buyers that are just on pause.
Okay. And is this your only lead gen?
Our main form, yeah.
Yeah. So like if you were to say, like most people say 90% of your business comes from your top 3 lead gen sources, would you say that like the Facebook campaigns is 75% of your business?
Social media is. I would say this is about 40% of our business. The rest comes from my other forms of social media activity, but social media and Facebook generated business equates easily for 90% of my business.
And so what other social media stuff are you doing?
So that's looking through our natural Facebook, like our Facebook page, throwing out, celebration posts, following up with we have specific database campaigns that we run on Facebook because you can do that through command. And
like what?
you can target your database in command. So under campaigns, so I add everyone's social media profile. Just close it. I add every single person's social media profile that I have to their personnel, and then I can target my database and I create them into lists, and we do run ads that specifically target those lists.
And those lists would be like Facebook groups or lists that you're creating in command?
They can be anything. So they can be past clients, potential sellers, potential buyers. If sometimes we have specific interest groups that we've done, or I run a numerous amount of Facebook groups. So everyone in there has a tag, and if I want to run, for example, I run a millennial wealth network group that's all about building wealth for millennials. Everyone who's in that group that I've gotten their contact information so far is in here, and it's created on a list, and I can target ads on Facebook directly towards them.
And that's automated.
I've added all their social media profiles in.
And that's all automated, like it's no phone calls, that's just text, email, text, email.
No, that's literally just, this is just passive ads. So, for example, on a Millennial Wealth Network one, me and Michelle Terzes, Michelle.
Terzes.
That's it. We are doing a digital marketing seminar for that group. So I just had a Facebook ad with that event that targets just the people in that group to advertise and let them know that that's coming on Wednesday.
I'm actually looking at doing a commercial real estate investing, like paid course with one of my commercial investor lenders. He can't be the face, I can. So I'm looking at building that out and using his information. I'll be the face, and I'll just basically charge through it. It's Tony Robbins they call it Knowledge Broker Blueprint, Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi. And I'm doing that course. And while doing that course, I'm going to build out this commercial planning thing. So it'll be another way of making money as well. So.
And then your opportunity as you build your database of contacts through that, you put them into command and try and add their social media profiles. And if their email or phone number is connected to Facebook too, it can target them by email or Facebook. By email or phone number as well, because Facebook recognizes it. So you can add them to the list on that way. then you can run ads that to them will look like they're generic ads running out there, but those ads are actually specifically targeting those people. So it's a great way of passive, it's digital farming in essence is what I'm doing there.
Is all this information you're getting just trial and error, or is this information something that you went to school for, or something that you're kind of hooked into? Like, what is it that?
Trial and error, I learned it myself. Asked some questions, surrounded myself with a couple of other tech people, but most of it is I have developed these things myself.
Okay. So the last thing I'll ask you is, can you send over that smart plan, like,
absolutely
copy? And then the last thing on the last couple of minutes here, second last thing, the last thing is I'm going to offer you coffee, and I'll do whatever I can to help you. But the last thing I would say is, Kim, Josh, can you stop screen sharing and have Kim log in and actually watch her go through 158 Wellington and do a campaign for Wellington, Kim? I want to see what our cost per click is on that, and we'll keep playing with Wellington until we get it down. And once we get Wellington down, because we have to bring a buyer for that ourselves. There's no way. It's an $850,000 legal triplex, fully renovated, stunning. It's on Airbnb. It's making over $100,000 a year. It's a stunning property, but we're not getting no traction at all because it doesn't work as a regular triplex. It has to be used for social media or Airbnb. But it's still a legal triplex, and there's very few of them, and it's $850. So would love to see what your thoughts are on that, Josh.
Okay.
I can tell you right now what I think I did wrong with that campaign was that it did link to all the photos.
Yeah,
I pulled it up.
We haven't gotten a bunch of leads from any of them yet. So.
In your reason because of that is, as soon as you have multiple photos, again, if you click on the photos, it then opens up and allows you to go through the photos, which takes you away from the ad. It's the same as when you click on a video on Facebook, it puts you in that separate video player. So you've removed yourself from the ad. So I would bet you that your ad probably is going to show tons of clicks and then just very little leads captured.
There was no leads captured, and I couldn't figure it out because it is a beautiful property. But as soon as you said that, I know exactly what I'm doing wrong with all the because remember I said to you the leases work, but so this was the triplex, and see I didn't get any leads, and I only got 25 clicks.
What did you?
So.
Can you just lower that down again?
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for the, can you click on Dylan Suter Facebook?
Yeah.
Like there. Okay, so your problem on this one, in generating leads, is that the way that you have it, it's not so much that it's wrong. Everything you put is right. It's just you've advertised it for a niche lead. So because you've listed it out as a triplex, because you've listed it out for an investor, you're only going to get those people clicking on it, right? Someone who's looking at it and going, oh, I don't want a triplex. I can't afford a triplex. I can't do anything like that. They're not going to click on this. So if an investor specifically wasn't seeing your property, then that would create a big issue. And you can see that because only 25 people are clicking on it at 17,000. So those 25 people were people who were maybe investors, and then they were like, investors are the least likely to give their information to you.
Which is fine because I have a shit ton of investors and I don't need more.
Yeah. So if you're just looking at it, in what I found on one like this, and I have done it when I have my legal duplexes and everything like that, this is a fantastic opportunity to talk about programs like co-sharing or co-buying. Target it with first time investors or younger people, or first time home buyers and younger people, saying, hey, look at this fantastic place. It's a perfect opportunity for co-purchasing, or a great place to purchase while having a second unit to help offset some of your costs. And just change the people that you're targeting it towards, even if they themselves can't end up buying this unit, which you never actually know. I've had first-time home buyers who come in and then suddenly bought my duplexes, where two of them came in together and bought it. But you're just giving a different way to do it. Even on this one, I think a lot of people get a lot of misconceptions about Airbnb, and they're turned off by the idea of Airbnb. So I don't think I would ever mention Airbnb potential in the ad. And particularly in this market right now, advertising an Airbnb when no one can travel.
Yeah, exactly. Well, this Airbnb is getting no interest right now. So
yeah,
they're having a hard time with it.
So it's when did this ad finish?
This one was a while ago.
Okay.
And as Dylan said, we want to do another paid campaign on this one. I just got to check with Rachel and Annette, who Rachel is our listing agent, and I'm 100% sure they didn't do a video for this.
You don't want a video anyway.
Yeah.
Sorry, the video tour.
Yeah, the video tour. Yeah.
Yeah. If you don't have the video tour, it's not going to be Underworld for this part. I just think it's going to be, unless it's completely vacant property that can be shown, no problem, it's going to be harder to sell right now. But I mean, I guess if it's a tenanted property, it's also going to be very difficult to sell right now.
It's not tenanted right now. It's Airbnb. And no one's booking because it's Airbnb. So
yes.
they are basically, this is the best time to sell it, because as soon as, if anything gets lifted, which I just saw things get extended to June, if anything gets lifted, then obviously people are going to start booking Airbnb because they're going to start traveling again. So
yep.
Now's the time. Like, we do need to sell this.
So the fact that you don't, because it's a vacant property, and the fact that you don't need to necessarily do it by virtual sale, because it can be shown.
Yeah.
It's not going to be as big an issue on it. But any property with tenants or owners, you should 100% definitely have the virtual tour there and being able to showcase it.
So Kim, that's going to be like a mandatory thing for everything, whether you use Facebook or not, moving forward.
I'm sorry, you cut out there.
That's going to be a mandatory thing. Virtual tours are mandatory. They should always be included. If we're not including one, that's a big fuck up. So we need to make sure we include them moving forward for everything, and obviously for this as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the change I'd make on this one is just changing how you're targeting your ad copy.
No, that's great. Thank you.
So
and
can
you don't need to put your ownership statement down here.
What's that?
No, you know what? I think that popped up because I pulled it from the listing.
Okay, that could be it. That looks like an ownership statement, which you have the ability to click on or off. We don't need it. So you don't have to worry about that.
And that KW, Keller Williams, whatever logo you have in the bottom right corner, that's got to go. It's got to be a lot smaller. It's way too ugly.
I didn't want to say anything, but you know.
And get rid of the white background or something if you're ever going to do something like that. Just make it translucent or whatever.
Yeah, you want a Photoshopped transparent background.
Yeah.
You could also just leave whatever size you want and just make the whole thing translucent and just upload a translucent logo.
1% instead of like 99 or 100%, just pick a 1% translucent or 1% or whatever.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, man. Really appreciate you taking the time. I got like 4 pages of notes here, and I'll definitely review this with Kim and gonna rock and roll on this, because I think it's one opportunity and one area that we need to work on. We have like 4 listings that I'm stalling on right now that I know I could probably sell, and I can't stall beyond like middle of April for them. So we're gonna have to go live with them, and I wanted to see if I can at least get some interest and some traction on them now. Are you seeing that properties are still getting the interest? Are you holding off on stuff, or are you kind of listing right away?
I'm holding off for anyone who doesn't need to sell. Just because I don't. It's partly because from a business standpoint, if anything shifts too badly, like I don't want to be out the expenses going into a terrible shift on anything, and another just because if they don't need to, I don't think it's worth the risk. But we're moving forward with people who need to, or if it doesn't disrupt their lives. Like if it's a vacant property or anything like that, I'm putting it up because there's no harm. There's no harm or foul on doing it. I did the one that I showed you that I was trying to get. We put up. It was completely virtual, and we got multiples and sold it over asking in day one.
Did you price it lower than you normally price it?
I did. Right. I definitely was underpriced on it, but we had already purchased and we needed a fast sale on everything.
What did it sell for?
The house outright, and we had purchased at like half of what we were going to sell for, so it wasn't a big deal.
And like, how much did they lose on what you think the market value would have been a month prior?
I would actually only say about 10K on that one.
Okay.
I'm pricing all of our houses that are coming to the market right now. I'm pricing 10K ahead of the market. I'm not completely under listing them, but I am pricing them about 10K under the market. Yeah,
that's plan on doing the same. You're still sharing your screen, Kim.
I was just checking on the team.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Anything, Josh? What can I do for you?
So the big thing that I'm going to ask for is you're going to be the first to hear about this. So you're lucky, and you're lucky on this. I have partnered up with Mr. Baldwin, and later this week I will be launching Command Your Canada, which will be a supplement group to Command Your Conversion that I will be running. And it will be focused purely on Canadian content and the differences between how Command does run differently in Canada in a lot of ways. And there's features and ads that we can't run because we don't have the programs in availability. And getting, when that launches this week, getting people into that will be huge.
So when are you launching it?
My goal is Thursday.
So today was 43, so 43, 44, 45, 46. That'd be 46. Do you want to do a recording? We could do like a one-on-one and kind of chat a little bit, and then I'll do like a 1-minute video. We can even just do a 1-minute video anytime, and I can say what I learned here with all this valuable information and do like a bit of a reversal for my coffee dates, and then post that on Thursday, and then it kind of drives some traffic. I mean, I'm getting about 500-600 people looking at every Instagram, plus a bunch more looking at Facebook.
Yeah, no, I would love it. I've been huge part. Obviously, I'm a moderator on Command Your Conversion, and it's such a valuable asset and such a valuable tool. But there's so many things and programs, like when they're talking about all their Keller Mortgage ads and their Keller Covers stuff, and just all of this stuff that doesn't apply to Canada. And that we have to find workarounds and ways to do it differently. So we're going to be working in unison with them, but providing a hyper focus on how to make Command work for our markets, and trying to find and foster the tech people that we need here, because we have a whole bunch of really good tech directors and people are good at the technical questions, but I found that we're sorely lacking in agents,
execution,
who are using it in their day-to-day business at a high level that we can rely on locally to come and do training events, to come and do talks, and I can only do so much.
I mean, I can tell you right now, I'll do what I can. Obviously, I can only do so much too, and you see me everywhere doing everything, so it's only so much that I can do. Kim, do you think we have anyone on the team that we could push this to and see? I mean, I don't know if Eric or Rachel or Channing. I don't think Eric's. I don't know. You tell me. What do you think, Kim? Do you want to get up there and teach? Probably not, based on that response. Okay, so the only person I'm thinking would be
we'll find them over. Getting the people in the group is what matters, because then people will start sharing. They'll start asking questions, they'll start sharing, they'll start getting answers, and then we'll naturally find who those people are over time.
Okay.
And then be able to do it. But like that group, I'm going to be committing to doing weekly seminars for that group on command, that are going to be no cost. Like I'm trying to get people involved, and I was getting ready to launch my coaching program around this, but right now, the reality of our market and this stuff being needed information, I'm sharing my knowledge. I'm not willing to try and make a profit off this right now. I want as many people to shift their focus and be able to survive and come out the other side of this business, or outside of whatever this is right now. And the technology is the way they need it.
I have a perfect guy for you, Josh Schofield. I'm actually on a call with him tonight at 5 o'clock, but he might be joining my team. He might just be staying in the office, but he's all about automation, and I'm talking to him about that as well. So I'll talk to him about it for sure. But maybe, I don't know, tomorrow morning, are you available at all from 9 to 12 during lead gen time? I can hop on to a 1-minute video.
Yep.
Okay, so let's do that. Then I'll put it in my calendar for 9, and then I don't know if I'll call right at 9 or whatnot, but I'll just send it a new link. Kim, can you do that actually? Add it for half an hour right at 9 o'clock on a Zoom link for Josh.
Right at 9?
At 9, yeah, right at 9. As soon as I'm finished with Kelly, I'll hop on that. My call with her is 8:30 to 9, so it might be a minute or two late, just a heads up, Josh. But we'll get that recorded, and we'll do like a 1-minute video that I can send out on Thursday or even maybe Wednesday and say, hey, watch my live video tomorrow. And then like the day you're ready to actually post it, you and I can go live on Instagram.
Sounds good.
Cool. And that way everyone that would normally follow will see it. So I'll get like a 1-minute clip in the evening on Instagram saying, hey, check this out. And then the next day we'll go live on Instagram, so we can kind of get a bit of following on it. Last time I did that, I had about 50, 60 people on the one I did.
That would be amazing. That'd be perfect.
Cool. Okay. So Kim, you can do that for tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. I got to hop off. I got a regional call here at 1 o'clock. I really appreciate your time, Josh. It's been amazing. Obviously, I recorded everything.
Excellent.
And by the end of the day today, Kim, I expect to have something back from you on that Wellington one. And then once we get this mastered this week, we can start going through the office and seeing how we can advertise those listings. Does it have to be your office in like Whitby, or could it be Remax, or could it be anyone?
Yep. So you just need permission.
Yeah. So we can go to Burlington, Hamilton, Niagara. We can go after all of our clients.
I go to Toronto all the time and find people who've got Toronto listings or have got Durham listings, but they're Toronto agents. And I say, hey, do you mind if I advertise your listing? And I just send out, like every morning I send out a block. That's how I always have 5 or 6 ads going.
Yeah. I love it. Okay.
All right. Thank you so much.
No problem. Thanks, anytime, anything you guys need.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll chat with you tomorrow morning, and we'll talk soon.
Talk soon. Bye.
Cheers. Bye.